Right, it's live now, by the way.
No worries.
Safety device that sits over the driver's head, aptly named the Halo, is constructed out of titanium and adds roughly 9 kilograms to the car's total weight. F1's distinctive sound throughout the decades is in part due to the high revving engines in use. F1 engines during the V8 era and the mid-2000s, for example, could reach 19,000 RPM. In comparison, a typical road car won't exceed around 6,000 RPM. 2019 Chinese GP was F1's 1,000 official championship race. 20 to 24 races a year, we can expect
You expecting me to do an intro?
Yeah, I've been waiting for you.
It's like I don't have anything prepared.
Oh, right.
Welcome to ERL for round 8 of our championship racing. I know nothing about this circuit. Today we have a sprint race, another 12 laps on from our 36 race lap distance. It is a short qualifying here in Austria. There is 11 turns, I want to say? 11, 10? It is the shortest lap of the grid, and that is about the extent of my knowledge. And I'm not very good at this circuit. What I will do is secure the time to go through the standings.
Yeah,
so leading the way is Patrick, followed from Nice Job, and that gap up front is a 14-point difference with Patrick on 91 and Nice Job on 77. Alia sat in third place on 52 with Danny Rutten and D-Mac sat in fourth and fifth. And following down to the top 10 are Robbo, well anyway, Iron Kid, Spandon and Apple Dawn. Following the constructors' standings, it is Ferrari who lead the way with 132 points, just 5 behind Alpha Tauri, which Nice Job took the win for last week, so that gap is closing down. They have just 5 points. Aston Martin sit third with Williams and Alpine sitting fourth and fifth, with Haas, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes, Red Bull and McLaren rounding up the top 10. Another full good today, Loki having to serve a qualifying ban. So that is one thing the AlphaTauri team probably did not wish for today, but with a nice job you're always going to have a chance of getting 25 points at the end of the day.
Yep, so Alge is the first driver on a lap then, on this short layout, which only roughly takes about 1 minute 4 seconds around this, well, I think there's, as you said, 11 corners.
I think it's 11.
Obviously it's Red Bull owned.
What was it? I think it's like 70% of the lap is flat out.
Yeah, all I know also about this track is it's Red Bull owned and might as well be Max Verstappen owned as well, because literally he's won the last 6 of, I think it's 7 Grand Prix at this circuit, or 8 Grand Prix.
Right.
It's quite insane, his record around this circuit. As Algeri goes top with a 104.52. Then followed by Patrick, who now takes the provisional pole with a 104.5 then, and followed by Ross in P3. Costa is in P4 with the 105s, so a little bit of traffic at the back. Then with Mufasa going off, but he's invalidated his lap. Sir Waffler is currently on a lap, currently 10th up on his best. Not sure if he's going to complete this lap. Who's actually on a new lap? Danny has gone the quickest, with a 1:3.8. That's a very good lap, to be fair. What can Demac do? Then the Williams driver. And have we got any new rookies? I think in the field.
No, Mikey is new, I believe, in the Mercedes.
Right, Mikey. Fair enough.
Then you've got drivers like Will Anyway and Perez and Waffler who aren't here too often, is what I believe. Maybe Perez, I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, first race then for Mikey, potentially, in the league. As well, anyway, he's about to complete a lap. No, he isn't, as he decides to dart off into the pit lane. So, RLR Perez is going to be the next driver to come around, and he's invalidated.
That's going to be the moral of the story, I think, today. Obviously, a lot of track limits are going to be quite predominant in today's both sprint plus feature race plus qualifying. So, as you can set a pretty good banker up, you're going to be ahead of at least 50% of the field who may invalidate every single one of their laps because there's so many opportunities for you to do so here.
Yep, indeed, there is. Especially the final corner, that is probably one of the worst, I'd have to say. The rest of them, I think, are pretty okay. It's just that final corner, which I think is one of the worst out there on the entire calendar. I guess because you want to carry the speed through it and all of that, which makes it a very tough corner. Plus, it's a little bit off camber, so you know the car almost is sliding out, drifting out wide on you automatically without doing much through there. So nice job.
The benefit of that corner is if you do get it correct, you are going to gain about 3/10 of a second. I see. I remember one time I did a time trial lap of it, and I essentially pushed the corner to the limits. I think I gained 6/10 overall. I mean, that was last year's game, but I think that last corner is a make or break situation because not only can it ruin your whole entire lap, it can also complete a very nice lap.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 110%. You know, it's a very essential corner to get right, and it can be a very critical corner if you get it wrong. As nice job then. He's the championship leader, if I'm correct, or is he second? Takas.
14 points behind.
So one of the championship protagonists, nonetheless. Then on a lap then, as he heads down the hill into turn 5. Then through 6. Gets the car quite nicely rotated. Into 7. He's on a pretty decent lap then, by the looks of it. What can he do in the final 2 corners? Keeps it nicely within the white lines.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's pushing too hard for this 2 corners. He's not going to be pole time or pole position, but a second place will do, I think.
Yeah. And there's probably more time.
Pushing in that corner. No, he definitely was not pushing in his last 2 corners. Definitely.
Kept it nice and safely within those white lines, so yeah, definitely a lot more time there for a nice job to come. But Danny, he's done so far the quickest lap. That's a very quick banker lap, to be fair. So if he's got any more pace, then he, will be someone who could be unbeatable in this qualifying, to be honest. As Oscar starts a new lap, then up through turn 1 and opens up the DRS, going up the hill into, I think this is the Lauda corner, or is that the corner before? Could be the corner before, actually.
I didn't even realise that was a thing.
Yeah, they renamed it the Lauda corner, one of them. It's either turn 1 or turn 3. I think it's turn 3, the Lauda corner. after the great Austrian driver Niki Lauda, of course. Down the hill, then past the Red Bull statue, which is situated on the left on the inside of the circuit. Now directly in the background through the final corners. Keeps it nicely within the track limits for Oscar. Getting a little bit wide on the exit, but that's quite nice line through there. And that's good enough to go up into P2. Get himself onto the front row of the grid. Now it's his teammate coming around through the final corner. A little bit maybe untidy through there, but is he going to go quicker? Nope. Remains though P1, but by 36 thousandths of a second is still not able to beat his own provisional pole lap time. So that was a pretty strong first effort, I'd have to say, from him.
It is an Alfa Romeo 1-2 at this current minute.
Yeah.
And a 103.8 seems like an unbelievable time.
I think that is a very good time. But then he done a very good second lap, to be fair, within 36 thousandths. So I'm not really sure if someone will be able to beat that. I'm not sure what you think.
I mean, look at the gap. I mean, it's 4 tenths to his teammate, so I don't see anyone beating that time. I really don't.
Yep, and the two Alfa Romeos, in fact, talking about the teammates, have had a little bit of a contact there on their in laps. That's not ideal situation between them, because that's rule number 1, never hit your teammate.
I'm just on board with Ironkin at the minute. He is just 200ths up in this middle sector. Coasting along, stops it in 5th gear for the final corner. It will be a little improvement, 2.5 tenths, puts him up into P12, just above his teammate RLR. Here it is. FC Tensha is 4 tenths up on his previous lap, trying to see himself up, maybe even up to 8th position, depending on how the rest of this lap goes. Let's see what position the Williams can go. Holds that nice corner across the line. B8 does jump well away by 1500 of a second. Is there anyone else on the lap?
Not really too sure. Let's have a look. Spandan the gamer is, but he's currently down. Mufasa's well down on his lap time. Costa's in the pit lane. I think Algie is the next driver to start a lap, followed by a Nice Job, who is behind him. And Nice Job's improving by 16 thousandths of a second in the first sector, so that's a decent first sector. And if I remember you saying, he had the fastest first sector already within the session, so
I believe so. We don't have our first time in the session, which is Ironkin, I believe, in the pit lane.
yeah. Still, nonetheless, down the hill, Nice Job goes. So he's looking to improve, and he's invalidated on his second run, but still time to get into the pits and then back out. That's a good thing probably about Austria. It's a nice and short lap where you can, you know, either like save fuel, go around another lap and, you know, try again, or come back into the pit lane with plenty time remaining.
I have a feeling there's rain coming, because there's 2 drivers just hiding in the pit lane, and I'm not entirely sure why. It does look like it's raining a little bit for you, no?
To be honest, I don't see... Is there any raindrops? Looking on board with Patrick at the moment.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, it is raining. Yeah.
Yes, it is raining. I thought I was getting a bit confused. Well, that is qualifying over.
Effectively, yes. Only Patrick probably can realistically improve, who's currently is improving on a lap, so...
But I mean, look at the gap to the front. He's nowhere near that time.
Nope.
It's going to be an Alfa Romeo lockout at the front.
This will be his final effort.
And he's lost it on the final corner. qualifying over in Austria with 4 minutes to go. The rain has fell. I had a sneaky feeling I saw a bit of rain. I just didn't want to commentate on it and get it wrong, so I was looking an absolute mug if I did. Nice job has retired from the session, and there we go. Yep, no one can improve on their previous time. The DRS will be enabled anytime soon. I'm just going to watch Co-Star on his lap just to see if he can improve at all. And he goes over the rumble strip and he cannot.
I think the track is too wet now anyway. There seems to be like just small puddles forming, so yeah, I think that is definitely qualifying over. And yeah, no one is going to be able to improve. Like, so yeah, it's Alfa Romeo 1-2 then at the Red Bull Ring, which is a pretty good result, and Danny again on pole, who is proven himself once more to be a top driver within this tier and league so far. So Oscar will line up in second, followed by Ross, Patrick in fourth, Demac is in fifth, Ali will be sixth, nice job, seventh. Well, anyway, will be 8th, FCT ESG in 9th, Williams driver. Algary is in 10th, Costa is in 11th, Appledorm in 12th, RLR Perez is in 13th, Iron Kid 14th, Mikey in 15th on debut. So Waffler is in 16th, Spandan the Gamer has spun out there and is in 17th, and Mufasa will round up the runners have set a lap in 18th, and then the drivers with no set lap time is Schizo and True Lockgod in or Locky God in 20th, so he got disqualified for something, so that is literally your grid order. Oh right, fair enough. Sound as a pound then.
When in 2002, Schumacher finished on the podium in every race he participated, making it 100%.
Well, we're going to have some drivers who are just going to go out on the intermediate tyre just to sort of prepare their car for what we have to assume will be impacted a little bit by our weather conditions. Just well anyway, for the minute. With the green intermediate tyres in the green car. Obviously first sector with no DRS, it will not be an improvement. This is purely just to get a feel for the conditions and how much you can push in the greasy environment of the Austrian circuit at this current second. But the Alfa Romeo lockout, surprising, don't you agree?
Yeah, to be fair, actually, a little bit, actually, I agree, but Danny's been a good driver ever since I've seen him on track, so yeah, I think he's one of the top drivers in the league, and then you got Oscar, who can also produce time to time, so yeah, both of them are good quality drivers who have put their cars where they probably deserve to be, really. But obviously the race can be always a different situation. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they all do during a racing affair, and if it's wet, then that makes obviously the circuit a very different challenge altogether compared to what it would have been in the dry. So it'll be interesting to see who has a good sprint, and plus we got the sprint, so you know that could affect the actual race start. So there's still a lot to be sorted out in the next two sessions we got this evening. So, Danny then on pole, obviously been through the grid sort of thing, with Oscar lining up second, Ross in P3, Takas Patrick in P4, Dimac is in fifth, that's your top five, and then Ali is in sixth, nice job in seventh, and well, anyway, is in eighth. So we got a dry race then for the Austrian Grand Prix here.
Yep, looks like it's going to be dry for some time. However, it does look a bit cloudy in the background, but don't think we should look into it that deeply.
Nope. I agree, we shouldn't look into it too deeply with the cloud situation.
I do believe there is a 5-minute break in between our Grand Prix, by the way, and for our sprint race.
That's alright.
I'm not sure if it was actually what's it called, actually approved, but I believe so. But a little bit of the tyres. It's a change for the mediums and the softs. The majority of the field going for the trusty old medium, but a few soft runners with Ross G, D-Mac, Iron Kid, Mufasa, Skizzo on the soft tyre. Only a 12-lap race, and it's about a minute 12, a minute 10 per lap, so the soft tyres will last, but it really just depends on if and how much they degrade. But I mean, 12 laps on the soft should be no problemo. And I actually think the soft tyre was, if I was in their position, I definitely would have went for a soft tyre. But
yeah, I'm the same pretty much. I would have gone softs as well, especially if you're starting within, like, I think, well, for Ross, he's going to be very quick off the start and in the first opening 5 or 6 laps of the race. So
that is Alia and Noise Job who have come under collision under our formation lap period. So they've both been disqualified from the formation lap, meaning they're going to have cold tyres.
well,
Which could really see Noise Job tumble down the order. He's got one anyway. He's got Tencha and he's got Algeri right behind him, who could now pose a serious threat to the overtaken. The one thing going in these two drivers here is that it is a pretty short run up to the line. It's about a 300 meter maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Thank goodness though the game bug of disqualification has been fixed, I believe, so that won't affect anything then. Besides cold tyres.
That's going to help Noise Job. Well, anyway, has overparked his car, but the other thing I want to talk about is Oscar's positioning of his car. He's very far over. It's almost like he wants to take the lead of his teammate off lap 1.
Yeah.
The grid's all messed up for me, that seems to be. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in Austria for our sprint races, round 8. And it is like that, and away we go. Oscar pointing his car the wrong way, has not got the start he needed. It is Danny who leads into turn 1. Oscar hanging right behind him, the Ferrari and the Williams of D-Mac and Takax getting a bit up close and personal coming out of the exit of turn 1. Perez already has a 3-second penalty. Noise Job does manage to gain a position as well anyway, does fall. Touch and go for D-Mac and Takax, a lot of contact going up the hill, and then Noise Job under pressure from the Williams. Both Alfa Romeos flying ahead of the pack. Ross will begin to try and put a little bit of pressure onto Oscar and Takax and D-Mac side by side, and D-Mac gets the position from the championship leader. Noise Job following in on this Ferrari now, who's been a bit stung on these opening few corners down into 5th place. However, both Williams are out here scrapping. Algeri has seen himself spin and tumble down the order. That seems like a bit of contact with someone. I believe he does not have a front wing, or yes he does, never mind. But Alfa Romeo brilliant start for their Grand Prix, and they are flying ahead of the pack.
Yeah, good start from the Alfa Romeo cars, of course, on that opening lap, both of them maintaining the lead. Danny got a really good start on the pole side of the grid, getting literally near enough no wheel spin. And we've got someone off one of the Mercedes, I think, off in the background. I think that's Spandan going off. Then as we head on to lap 2 of this Grand Prix, interestingly, Ross hasn't been able to capitalise on the soft tyres, but he is keeping up with Oscar in currently what is third place. So it is certainly very close between our 3 leaders on this, second lap of the race. Then, as we go further back down the grid, and Costa already picking up 3 seconds, and I think RLR Pierre has done the same as Ali goes off the circuit, cutting the track and having to do a bit of off-road rally driving then there for him, tumbling down the order, as we've now got a spinner of Mufasa at the back of the grid, and that's going to hurt his race too, as Algri picks up then that 19th position.
Just on board with them anyway, hunting down onto the Williams of, I'm just calling Tensha because I'm not sure how to pronounce that name, it sounds very Dutch. But well anyway, up into 7th place, and never mind, he's not. He's tangled with the Williams, spun over his rear axle, and I think that was the Williams' fault, to be perfectly honest with you.
Yeah, totally agree with you, there was the Williams' fault, in all honesty.
Had that move done.
Yeah.
Up front has been closing ever so slightly, mainly probably due to the battery usage from Oscar, but he's hanging in onto that DRS. He's still going to have a pretty good opportunity actually with these 3 DRS zones coming up. The third one probably not as effective as it could be with that heavy braking zone in both the entry and the exit, but the first of the dosing of DRS does come Oscar's way. He's going to close up to about just 4/10. This is the best opportunity he's going to have of using that DRS effectiveness, but does not have the exit to do so. Rear wing open and gaining, but not going to be anywhere near enough to make a lunge. One more DRS zone for the Alfa Romeo, hunting down onto his teammate. Rear wing near once again, but has way too much revs going into that engine and cannot cut the power down soon enough. So 3 DRS zones has not seen him climb any closer to the lead of this Grand Prix. Both McLarens are going to get a bit personal here. Skizzo does this back out of the move from his teammate. Takax hunting down now on to D-Mac after that opening lap. Nice job is also hanging in right behind him. What else is going on?
Whoa.
Waffler goes super wide. That is a position for True Loki. Got up into 14th place for AlphaTauri. Alia does want to get this position now onto Waffler as well. How has he tumbled down the order so much?
He went off the track. Said that in the previous lap.
Oh, that's Appledorn spinning, just coming into the pit lane entry, and that's going to be our first virtual safety car of the session.
Yep, it will be the first virtual safety car of the session. I think probably more importantly, what's most important thing here isn't really about what tyres everyone's on, because strategy should be no stops, but more about how many positions people have gained. And Schizo has gained 12 positions on this sprint race. So for the second race, he's going to start way up the grid in 7th position here, as Ross gets a drive-through penalty. That's going to really hurt Ross then in this sprint race. He's going to have to do some work if he wants to get probably back into the top 10, let alone be fighting for a top 3 grid start position then here today. I'm not sure if drivers get points for the sprint, as Ross has decided to take his drive-through now. Not literally. He spun into the pit lane, and he spins again into the pit lane as well. So that's not a good day for him. And Schizo somehow has dropped all the way back down into 14th. Not sure what happened to him. But Patrick, going for the move on the Williams, gets the move done quite nicely around the outside. However, has he hurt himself? Because obviously the Williams will have DRS, but it looks like he's got the move safely done. As a nice job's going to attempt to move then down the inside, gives the Williams nice space. They make a little bit of contact on the exit, but nice job has got that position. So now nice job is up into fourth, and Patrick is ahead of him then in third. The two championship protagonists then are currently only separated by half a second then here as we head on to lap 7 of this sprint race.
Loki and Mikey had a little bit of a nice sector 2 just going side by side, but the gap at the front, I was about to say, has come down a lot, but Oscar had a huge slide on the exit of turn 1, was carrying a bit too much speed. He's managed to get that battery percentage a bit higher due to that VSC, and he's beginning to pose a bit more of a threat onto his teammate, but these Alfa Romeos are flying. I mean, they are absolutely flying.
Well, anyway, might be going for a move in here. Down the inside, makes contact, unfortunately, with Iron Kid. However,
Mufasa out of the session, that could be a safety car.
Loki has got the position just before that, so safety car, that's an interesting dilemma.
And it's a double Red Bull DNF.
Yes, indeed. Both Red Bulls are out. I think Ross retired in the pit lane. I'm not sure about Mufasa, where he retired, whether that was on track or in the pit lane. But it'll be interesting to see if anyone jumps into the pit lane for a set of the soft tyres then here.
So neither of the Alfa Romeo guys want to head in. What's the thing this is going to do? This is going to bring Patrick a little bit closer into the field, and so is Nice Job. Third and fourth seem to be together every single Grand Prix at this point. They're always together.
Well, shows how, I suppose, good they are and consistent in the championship fight, I suppose, on that one. So no one jumping into the pit lane. I think we've got a few back markers in, going for the softs, such as Schizo, Mikey, and Algary, all going on to softs. Might have Appledorn come in here. Not really too sure if he chooses to come in. He will come in, so imagine he goes on to the softs too. So that makes, I suppose, quite a lot of logical sense from them then there. So yeah, it's Alfa Romeo 1-2. Then still, after 8 laps of racing, and probably be resuming racing on lap 9 or 10 of the Grand Prix, so when it does go back to the green, then we'll have only, what, 2 and a bit laps of racing to go for these Alfa Romeos to hold out. Yeah. So, who you think's going to win the sprint?
I think it will still be one of the Alfa Romeos. They just seem a level above the rest.
Yeah, I totally agree with that assessment out there at the moment. They do seem a level above the rest. The only thing I think that could stop them is themselves, if they both obviously get a bit, go a bit over the top with each other on these final 2 laps, given that the sprint win is on the line. But I would like to hope they're a bit smarter than that and decide to get the result rather than think of self-interest first, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
But obviously for Patrick and a nice job, I doubt they'll hold anything back, and them two are going to be absolutely pushing to still then a top probably 3 result, the pair of them two. So I think safety car might be in this lap.
This depends how quickly Appledorn can get to the back of the pack, really.
Yep.
Ah, yes, it is coming in this lap.
So we are racing then once again in Austria at the Red Bull Ring, and it's been a good restart by Danny, who leads then Oscar from Patrick then. So Patrick cutting that inside corner quite a lot then there. A bit worried if he gets 3 seconds, because that could really hurt his race if he does that too many times. But Patrick has a small look at Oscar on the inside, but decides obviously not to go for it. And in fact, Oscar's got a really good exit out of turn 3 as we head down into turn 4. Has a little bit of a look to the inside, but obviously way too far back to even attempt to lunge then there. So obviously going a bit further down the field. Anyone making any overtakes? Not really many can see them doing as of yet. Hold on a second, Schizo went on the inside of Perez, and then Appledorm following his teammate through around the outside, getting the move done into turn number, I think that's 10 or 9, one of the two, and then through the final corner and is ahead, so he's up into 15th. That's a pretty decent job from him, as Lockie is going to go on the outside of the Williams driver, and obviously gets squeezed out then there by the Williams and decides to obviously back out. However, Costa does have a 3-second penalty for what it's all worth, so he's going to be affected. Going back to the leaders, does seem like Danny's got this one under control then, and I think the top 3 is looking pretty certain at the moment, unless something dramatic happens. Anything you're seeing out there? I'll take that as a no. It is Mikey having a battle with Ali then, and Ali is having to stay behind Mikey for a little bit longer, but Schizo isn't going to stay behind Sawafla, and Appledorm and Schizo both going side by side. This is the final lap of the Grand Prix, and it's Appledorm who takes the position off his teammate. And then going a bit further up the field, we've got Iron Kid fighting it out with Ali on the final lap then, as they head down the hill for the final time, and Ali remains ahead of Iron Kid, who remains in 12th. So Mikey then is in 10th, but going back to our race leader, Danny is going to round the final couple of corners then at the Red Bull Ring. He's got the pole position. He's going to confirm the pole position for the main feature race then. It's Danny who will start from the front. Oscar second, Patrick in third, nice job fourth, Dimac in fifth, the Williams driver of FCTHE is in sixth, True Lockie God is in seventh, who made up 13 positions and is the highest climber within that race, anyway, comes in eighth. Who was next? Obviously, True Lockie God getting the driver of the day. That's for the sprint at least, so that's a well-deserved driver of the day, making up 13 positions. Mikey is in 9th, Ali will start 10th, Iron Kid is 11th, Appledorm is in 12th, Schizo is in 13th, Costa is in 14th, Sawafla 15th, RLR Perez is in 16th, Algri is in 17th, Spandam the Gamer is in 18th, Ross is in 19th, and his teammate Mufasa is in 20th. So, what did you think of that sprint race overall? For that one,
relatively boring for Austria sprint race.
Boring, fair enough. So I think we got a 5-minute break, if I'm correct in saying.
I'm not sure.
We'll soon see.
Oh, apparently not.
Apparently not,
Well, I will just
indeed.
quickly bring through the tyres for the drivers. There's a lot of change. So the trusty medium for about half of the field. Soft tyres for Thakax, Mikey, Kurstar, Wobbler and Bandon. That is an Alfa Romeo overtaking everyone. What on earth are you doing? I'm not sure who that is. But Ironkid is for some reason at the front of the field and I do not know why. What on earth is he doing?
Could be worse.
I don't really understand that at all.
Nope. Oh well, back to
I'll
the,
carry on.
you know.
Hard tyres for Nice Job, Appledorn and Ross.
Yep, so quite the mix of tyre strategies out there. Then.
Well, I'm not sure what Ironkid is doing. I mean, at all.
No, I'm not too sure either, but
He just went wide as well. I mean,
I guess it's only going to affect his race in terms of the start. But I guess that's his prerogative as well. I'm not really sure if there's a rule on that.
the rule is you stay in order. That's the rule I go by.
Yeah, that's the rule. I mean, that is technically the rule, but I mean, yeah, I don't know whether that'll be enforced harshly or how
I think
would
it's
that be
dangerous
seen.
because he's overtaken a lot of cars. I mean, that's almost 10 positions he's had to take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, but we'll carry on. Only one retirement this time, which was Co-Start not being able to park the car. Oscar once again pointing his car to the left side of the track, and it is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 red lights, and it is lights out and away we go in Austria once again, and Danny, unbelievable start, clearing off from his teammate incredibly easily. Nice job, and Takat side by side through turn 1. Nice job just behind the Ferrari. The Williams got a bit up close and personal. Alia has retired. That is going to be a VSC.
Yep, indeed, a virtual safety car.
And that is what I call an anticlimactic start.
Yep, that was very anticlimactic indeed. Oh well. At least they're all kind of bunched together, I suppose, still. Which, I don't know, might be good, might be bad. Yeah, I ain't really got much to say, really, on that start.
Lackluster. That's the word I would like to use.
Yeah, but we are back to racing. And the Mac's been overtaken.
All my gaps are broken, by the way, so you're going to have to try and comment on things.
My gaps are broken as well. So it should resolve itself anyway after the first lap, so shouldn't be too bad.
Well, the main talking point is that Mufasa, I believe, got a drive-through penalty on the safety car, or on the pit lane start, and what I can see is that it's Kakak and Oscar swapping positions up the hill with straight line speed for the superior Ferrari. Does get the position, he's up into second place.
Yeah.
I wish I could see what else is going on, but unfortunately all our gaps are broken, so I'm not 100% sure what is happening. I am kind of just spamming through the drivers. There's Mikey and Tensha down the inside. It goes Mikey down into 8th place. FC goes. He's going to hold it a little bit on the inside, but I think he is just going to sit out and let the Mercedes take the spot. But anyway, I think he's 6th place. The soft tyres for Takak's working a treat at the minute. He's going to be right onto the back of Daddy, and he is likely going to take the lead of this Grand Prix.
Yep, he is probably, well, going to take the lead of this Grand Prix. They are working quite nicely then as the gap's starting to resolve.
Yes, he does. I mean, this is going to be it. Very easy. And oh my god, he almost loses it.
Yep, and that's
going to a big opportunity to hold off for his teammate now. He's going to get a big slipstream up this hill, and I think Danny's in serious trouble. Maybe a double overtake from both his teammate and from Tackers. It really just depends on the exit both of the drivers can get. Oscar up onto the back of the Ferrari. Kakak's down the inside, does have a little lunge, but rode the curb for way too long. Oscar's going to have another chance to close up here as well, just to try and put a bit of pressure on to Patrick, but that was a very ambitious lunge from Patrick, and I mean, you're never going to get that move.
Nope, not at all. But Oscar is obviously on the back still of Patrick then in P3.
He's do his best to put some pressure.
Yep, he's obviously on the mediums, so his tyres will be able to go longer. But then the softs should be okay. Like, to be fair, some drivers could do, I reckon, the soft to mediums or the mediums to softs if they really wanted to. So, like, this isn't really, when I think of this circuit, a track too harsh on the tyre wear. You know, it's a pretty decent track when it comes to tyres and tyre degradation.
There is a nice little battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. It was FC and Loki who I first had a look at. FC going wide on the exit of 1, saw Loki go past, and now on the back straight of the 3rd DRS zone, we're going to see Loki go past the Mercedes. The AlphaTauri started in 20th just 16 laps ago. Now finds himself in 7th place and overtaking both of the Mercedes and the Williams in a few corners. That's a nice move. Patrick has fallen out of the DRS, and this is not a brilliant lap, to say the least. He's out of DRS. Now this is going to give Oscar a big opportunity. He is out of the battery. This should be easy pickings for Oscar. Should just be plotting out on this next DRS straight. He's going to get better traction, and this is going to be it. The Alfa Romeo will see himself go back into 2nd place in this Grand Prix, and there we go. Simple as you like.
Yep, he's obviously up to 2nd.
Yeah, and I think Nice Job's also going to be on the back of Takax very soon as well, to be honest with you. Mikey gets re-passed Loki. Big snap on the exit of the hill, and Loki should go right past the Mercedes. There we go, back into 7th for Loki. And there's a lot of DRS trains going on here. Mikey is going to fight this on the inside on that curb. Loki will have the superior traction, and he does get ahead.
Yeah, obviously Loki ahead of Mikey then, and them two having a right old tussle then for what is P7 and PA, and obviously you got the Williams of FCTE in there as well. So he's fighting away, and you got also Iron Kid currently as well, hanging on to the back of that
a little tiny bit. Loki is going to be under pressure here from Mikey once again. With these back straights, the DRS so powerful, and I mean, this could be a move up the hill. It definitely will be a move up the hill. Who's going to get the DRS though? It will be Loki once again down this 3rd straight. Very close to being hit then by the Alpine of Iron Kid. Rear wing enabled for Loki. He has to really blow that Patry, and Mikey cuts across on the racing line. Loki on the outside once again. Better traction for the AlphaTauri. Of course there is. The outside line provides his dividends again, and there we go. Loki into 7th.
Yep, good overtake from him. I feel Mikey could be maybe a bit smarter when he's going for the move, though, in all fairness. If he just waits a little bit, if he can, with the DRS, with, you know, true lucky God, he'll be able to keep, you know, him behind. However, having just said that, he's about to be overtaken himself by FCTE, for what is then 8th place, and he's going to have the DRS. Will he go for the move into the hairpin? I would personally wait for the next DRS zone. He is behind at the DRS detection line, so that's okay. So he'll get the DRS, not Loki, but Loki and the Williams, neither of them are using the DRS, oddly, but a bit of contact between Mikey, who makes a bit of contact with the AlphaTauri, and Iron Kid making up the position, going around the outside of the Mercedes driver of Mikey on what is Mikey's debut, we believe. So obviously he's down into 10th, but he's having a solid debut race, not you know, causing any problems, and obviously, you know, having good fights out there. So this is a good debut for him. And going back to the 2 leading racers, or 4 leading racers, then Danny is still up front, and Oscar's actually gaining on Danny a bit here, I've noticed. So Danny isn't pulling away from his teammate, and nice job.
Ooh,
he's
my,
gaining
that was
another.
an absolutely unbelievable save from the Williams of FC10. On the exit of the hill, he completely dropped too many gears, and he got on the power and over-revved those rear tyres and almost puts himself in the wall. But a heavy amount of braking and a lot of rotation on that wheel just puts him safe off the wall. But that was a big moment from the Williams I've just seen.
Yep, was a big moment from him. Bit of a scary moment that was. But he kept it well to keep it on the track. And these 4 are now starting to gap one another a little bit, especially
there is going to be a move,
Loki.
by the way. 4th, 3rd place is going to be nice job onto Patrick. The soft tyres are well and truly gone. Nice job, flies ahead of Ferrari. I've been watching that gap for a little bit of time. Closed down by just about a second on that previous lap, and also, well, anyway, gets past the Williams of the Max. So much more traction for, but anyway, I have a feeling he will get to the back of Patrick some point soon.
Yep, so nice job obviously up into...
Oh, that's a yellow flag, and that's going to be Co-Star, who's gone off into the runoff area, and I believe he has not got any wing damage, but missed his braking point, and that is going to cost him a few positions.
Yep, has cost him a few positions, but up front, obviously, the gap's remaining all the same pretty much for now. Still, probably the best battle on the track is, I'd have to say, the battle for what is now 8th place, as Loki has kind of clocked out from these groups. So, yeah, obviously, Mikey's going to go for a move on FC10, then in the Williams, and
completely cut across him.
Wow, them two taking each
cut
other
across
out.
the racing line. Then Mikey had no choice just to try and get out of that incident. But yeah, that is not a nice bit of racing from the Williams, to be perfectly honest with you. I did have a look at their previous lap time between Will Anyway and Patrick. It was a 1 second gain for Will Anyway. However, this lap, Patrick seems to have extended his gap a little bit, probably due to the rear wing advantage that the Ferrari is currently getting.
Yeah, Well, that is one thing that the Ferrari will have, obviously, that DRS from Nice Job, which is going to help him out significantly to just stay on the back.
Really wide on the exit of the final corner. That's going to lose him a huge amount of time on the exit of that corner, just coming up to a third completed of the Grand Prix. Nice job, really struggling on these exits. That's 2 corners where he's lost a lot of time. He's going to give Patrick another opportunity now where he can maybe go for a lunge. No, doesn't want to do it, but if they're good enough exit, Patrick will be right on the gearbox of the Alpha Tauri. If he does choose to make the move too far back for him, Oscar hanging well and close with his teammate. I mean, this has been Alfa Romeo domination. I've never seen a teammate dominate this much. There's a yellow flag, but I'm not sure where for. We've got a virtual safety car for no reason. Well, there probably is a reason, but just not one I'm aware of.
Yeah, I think it's Mufasa who dropped time to the back of Costa, who I think had a half-track
moment. He's going to jump into the pit lane for getting off his soft compound tyre. And there's a car ahead of him, I'm not sure who though.
Mufasa.
Well, anyway, jumped into the pit lane and well, they're hoping that the safety car period will last as long as possible, because every second that they are under the safety car period is an extra second that they're going to gain under this virtual safety car. I mean, if they can get in and out of the pit lane with the virtual safety car just ending, that would be perfection for them, but the people who have pitting under this VSC are going to be loving life.
They are indeed, however I would say, even though they'll be loving life, like, they do have quite the stint to do on them medium tyres. I'm not saying they won't get to the end, they probably can get to the end, but for the other runners they'll have certainly fresher tyres. It'll come down to really how much time Patrick can gain on the cars ahead of him without getting held up.
The will be in a very good spot. However, the hard tyres will be even in a better spot. Well, anyway, if there are no other safety cars, as well as D-Mac, do pose a tiny little threat on this hard tyre, because both these drivers are no mugs. They can hold their own against the top drivers. Over course, they will obviously get very slowly eaten up, but in terms of a few laps, they can definitely keep a few cars behind them. And if they're going to build a big enough gap under that virtual safety car, it could maybe provide another good tactic.
And Al Grease picked up a penalty then at the back of the grid, of course, so that's not good for his race overall, as Patrick is now up into 5th then, of course, ahead of the Alpine driver. Only Loki hasn't pitted ahead of him. Then you've got the leaders, of course, so obviously, what is the gap? 15.8 seconds right now to the leaders for Patrick. So the gap is coming down quite nicely for Patrick. When everyone else has made their stops, probably in about a few laps' time, maybe lap 17 or 18 of this race, then Patrick is going to have a rather healthy lead actually here, to be fair. As Oscar picks up a
3-second penalty, by the way. That is going to maybe hurt the slight chance I think he had at winning this Grand Prix. He has been hanging on to his teammate, but there's not really been a chance so far where I've seen him pose a real threat onto the lead of this Grand Prix. He's kind of just been hanging with his teammate, whether this be team orders to say, hey, let's just pull away from the pack. But I think the one problem for the minute is that the double stack for Alfa Romeo could be a very, very big risk. If I was Oscar, I would definitely be pitting for hards.
Yep.
Definitely 2 laps before your pit strategy.
Patrick's made the move.
Yeah, sorry, missed that.
No, that's okay. I caught it on the camera anyway. He made a nice move down the inside of Iron Kid, not Iron Kid, sorry, Loki, wasting no time in the corner, getting a move done, as we have got a yellow flag. Is this going to be a potential safety car? I think it's Schizo who's off. Yeah, Schizo is off. He's taking a very alternate route here.
Oh,
really?
Just cutting a bit of grass here.
Yeah, really lawn mowing that grass then there.
Yeah, the new McLaren lawnmower for sale, driven by the one and only Skizzo, who we will see the hat in his wing mirrors sometime soon.
You can buy them
Once
for
again, I've been
$10.99.
following this gap at the front. Oscar has posed a little bit more of a threat this lap, maybe. Me throwing some shade has maybe got him to speed up a little bit, but still he's 6 tenths behind, and that is going to be a retirement for Skizzo. So the retirement has come for the lawn mower. Which is unfortunate. I would have liked to see that run a little bit longer.
I was considering buying one the other day from B&Q, but decided to get a different lawnmower that wasn't orange and black and had a McLaren badge on it. I didn't really buy a lawnmower, but yeah. Oscar is actually closing up to the back of his teammate. This is, well, the closest he's been for quite some time, 4 tenths.
Yep, I do agree. This is probably the closest he's been. However, he loses a lot of time in this middle sector. I mean, I've been watching him lap by lap by lap by lap, and he cannot close that gap. Well, anyway, it's on to the back of Iron Kid. Also, the two guys who had a bit of an incident in the sprint race. Well, anyway, just not using that brake pedal enough. But let's see if well, anyway, can make this move a little bit cleaner. Iron Kid on the 15-lap medium. Well, anyway, oh my god, that is D-Mac down the inside of the Aston Martin. I did not see that coming. I was on board with, well, anyway, on his cockpit camera, I could see a Williams throwing it down the inside. From my camera angle, that was an incredible shot.
Dear.
That is D-Mac going off the road. That was a little body check, is what I would call it, from Iron Kid. It looked like to me, and that's a yellow flag. Well, anyway, it's right behind Iron Kid now. You see, can he make a move around the outside of turn 9? Yes, he can. No, he can't, because Iron Kid's going to the pit lane. Doesn't count as a move for well, anyway, in my eyes.
No, unfortunately, probably not. Ultimately, though, that was a bit of a shame for D-Mac, because obviously he was really pushing them there, and obviously kind of been throwing a bit of a, what is it? You know, the Uno +4 card, if you've ever played Uno. Not sure. Yeah, just given 4 seconds unnecessarily back to everyone else after making some lovely moves, and as you said, throwed one down the inside of, well, anyway, who is a pretty good driver, to be fair. He can certainly hold his own in a Grand Prix. So the leaders are still going on. In terms of the gap to Patrick, that's now only 11 seconds, soon to be 10 seconds. So he's gained a heap load of time really here. Basically, he's going to be, at this rate, on the back of the leaders very, very quickly, and I think he's in a really good position strategically now, if I'm being honest, because, you know, he can pretty much do anything. He could even attempt a 2-stop, I think, in this race, if he wanted to, if he can get that gap down by a further few seconds and have really good pace. And FC10 getting a move then, but obviously, well, I was in the pit lane overtake, so yeah, a lot of overtakes coming in the pit lane this race, have to say. There are some good battles on track, but not many actual on-track overtakes. And Oscar having a big moment out of the final corner, dropping a lot of time towards his teammate. However, he has got the DRS to make up that time again, and he pretty much instantly closes that time, really closing it, in fact, down to about 0.5 of a second. So yeah, he had a very big moment, almost losing the entire car out the final corner, as Mufasa picks up another 3-second penalty. And this race for Red Bull hasn't been the best of race days, unlike yesterday.
I would be, oh, that's Ross G out of the session, and that's going to bring a safety car. And now this puts the Alfa Romeo guys in deep, deep trouble. I said to Oscar he should be pitting 2 laps before he should, to ensure he doesn't get screwed over by the safety car, because now he's going to either lose a bunch of time due to a double stack, or he's going to have to stay out under this safety car period. I knew this would be a risk that the Alfa Romeo guys were taking.
No, I'd come in. I'd come in, literally. If
You have
both
to,
of
you
them.
have to, you have to pit. You're
You'll
going to
be
have to
fine.
give your teammate a bit of a gap going into the pit lane, and you're going to have to hope Nice Job doesn't overtake you.
Nah, it'd be fine. But Nice Job's got a pit as well, don't forget. And
Or Takac. Oh no, but he still could overtake him during the pit stop process.
yeah. Well, no, he won't. I don't think he will. We'll see. I think he'll be
No,
fine.
He should be okay. He should be okay. Oh, Takac is going to come in again. That's interesting.
Yeah. I think that's a correct call from Takas, because that safety car, really Takas is the biggest loser in that safety car, if I'm to be honest, because obviously not only has he now lost a position to well anyway, but he's also lost that strategic advantage he gained under the virtual safety car, so he's the biggest loser, I'd have to say, all within that. And the biggest gainer of the top 4, at least, has to be probably a Nice Job overall, plus the 2 Alfa Romeos, because in a sense, I'm not saying the race was getting away from Alfa Romeo, but it was like sort of, well, Patrick would have came out with almost, I think it would have been at least about a 12 or 13 second advantage ahead of the 2 Alfa Romeo drivers there, so that's why I have to say them 2 are the biggest winners in the end, alongside Nice Job, who is in 3rd. Otherwise, we've now got 4 retirements from this race, as Perez becomes the next driver to retire from the pit lane, I think. So he's out. Got a couple more drivers in for new tyres. Patrick is back in, actually. That's a interesting decision then there. Presume he wasn't happy with the tyres he was on, but it's a very interesting call to come back in after already making a stop, and he's gonna lose another position then. So he's down to 10th and behind Mufasa. Anything else you've seen? Maybe?
No, so Takac has pitted again. Did you cover that?
Yeah, I said that. And he went on to softs.
I have. I mean, the only explanation is look at the team he's driving for. Not really sure what he's thinking, to be fair with you.
No, I'm not too sure why. Because he was on the hards, and those would have gotten to the end. I mean, he's on the same strategy as the Alfa Romeo, but yeah, I'm not really too sure. Something's going on a little bit back with the Alfa Romeo driver Oscar. He's dropped a lot of time to his teammate of almost 3.5 seconds. So I think the car that lapped Mercedes, who is that? Spandam the Gamer, maybe? Yeah, it is Spandam the Gamer, who currently a lap down. I'm not sure if he's in the race. I'm not sure what the rules are. If he's well, he can't unlap himself if he is in the race. He does seem to be, I think, in the race. Looking at the throttle tracing, I don't think that looks AI. I'm not sure what you think. personally, in a sense, I'd like him to get out of the way if I was Oscar. Maybe even come into the pit lane to do that.
Well, I guess still the Alfa Romeo 1-2. Not really sure what else to say. Oscar hasn't really been proving that much of a threat.
No, pretty much agree with that.
Safety's going to win this one.
Yep. So
One thing not
obviously,
going in for
gonna
Oscar's way is
restart.
that he's going to have the ghosted car of Spandon in his way,
Yep, he will do indeed, and
which I
you
believe
can
is an
see-
AI, by the way. I'm not sure if that is. I think Spandon may have disconnected, is what my guess is going to be.
I don't know. When I was on board with him, his throttle tracing looked okay, but yeah, you never know. This is going to be really annoying for Oscar, but they're gone. And back to the green, so Spandan is now getting lapped by Oscar, who has managed to keep quite nicely, you know, out of the way then, I suppose, there.
Yep, nice job's going to put him under a lot of pressure, though.
Yeah,
Takax is
that's what I was
falling.
going to say.
Oh my god, Takax off onto the rumble strip, and that's him down to 14th place. Oh,
Yep.
this is a sore one for the Championship League. There's a lot of guys, a lot of contact in this midfield. A bit too much for me to keep an eye on. That was Iron Kid going wide. Looked like maybe Algeri and FC, I think, had a little bit of contact. Iron Kid down the inside of Algeri. Does get that position. The locking of wheels almost forces Algeri onto the gravel. And they're still locking wheels, and oh my god, that is unbelievable! And he's been rear-ended. Oh my word.
Yep, another safety car then.
That is an unbelievable amount of contact.
That is a lot of cars also off as well. 4 cars pretty much off then there. That was a pretty bad one. And obviously another safety car then in this race, and there's 12 laps to go. For obviously Patrick, this isn't the worst scenario now, because he will regain a lot of positions due to that all then there, so that's pretty decent for him. Obviously right now the championship lead is on the line. There's only 14 points you stated at the start of the stream, if I'm correct, so in between it right now I think Patrick would hang on to the lead of the championship, if I'm correct in saying, for now, because he obviously did finish above. Nice job in the sprint by 1 position, so I'm not sure the point situation that would cause. Then obviously, if Nice Job finishes third, I think probably be down to maybe 5 points, if you know that would be the correct maths sort of thing being applied here. So I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I mean, that was a huge amount of contact. I mean, I think this was... It was Algerian Iron Kid who locked wheels on the exit of turn 3, and then I think I'm not sure if Iron Kid left enough space. I'm not 100% sure. I really am not sure. But then they carried on locking wheels. This then caused Iron Kid to lose control of the car, which then also saw Algeri lose control of the car. Both spun off, and then it was DMAC rear-ending Iron Kid, obviously not suspecting of the absolute chaos above him. He does also DNF due to the collision. But I mean, that was carnage. That was absolute carnage.
Yep, that was absolute carnage indeed.
I was swear, but I realised I can't do that here.
No, well, no, probably best always to avoid language.
I got told off a lot for it.
Definitely best policy to try and keep stream as clean as possible in terms of the language we use on the stream. Try and not be too harsh on the drivers, but yeah, that's certainly going to be one for the stewards to take a look at later on in the in the steward's room and in the incident. So I have to wait and see what happens there. But for the second time in this race, we are going to have a safety car restart by Danny, and I think it'll be Danny's third actual safety car restart today. So he's getting pretty used to this job of restarting the Grand Prix. And Oscar will be in second then here, and he's gone with his teammate this time. Obviously this time doesn't have a lap to go.
He hasn't been off by Spandon this time, so we've been able to hold him a little bit closer, which is a nice sight to see. Patrick luckily can back in onto 9th position, right behind Sir Waffle, isn't he? This move should come in broad daylight. I mean, new socks, championship leader versus Waffler on the old hard tyre. This move has to be done quickly for Patrick to survive in this Grand Prix. Mikey sends it onto Appledorn, and he's gone a bit too deep, and he sent Appledorn onto the rumble strips, and he does get a 3-second warning for that. Bit unfair in my eyes, to be honest. Sorry, was unfair in my eyes.
Patrick
gets the position on to Sir Waffler. There we go.
Yeah, but Waffler did actually pretty okay to fight against the Ferrari driver actually on that one as I watched it live. So yeah, that was a pretty decent overtake by Patrick to eventually get it done, but wasn't as simple as he would maybe liked. But his next target will be the other Haas of Costa. So currently he's in a Haas American sandwich at the moment, and got obviously a group of cars that he'll be looking to get past. Obviously a lot of them on older tyres than him and on a bit of a slower compounds as well.
Patrick going for the switchback onto the Haas, and that is FC, and that is not a incident related retirement
Crash.
That is just a simple crash. I saw it on board of Patrick's POV, lost traction and just binned it into the wall. Something that I haven't actually done this year, which, despite me on last year, I'm not sure if you probably didn't watch last year's game, definitely not. But with no traction on last year's game, that would have been me. But this year, I find it's just so much easier.
Yeah, no, it is.
I don't really lose traction in terms of me fully losing the car. I have little like jolts and little snaps, but nothing to make me lose the car.
No, you're right. It is like the other day, I was doing a league race in Hungary. I think I had a spin. I found Hungary pretty difficult, to be fair. But there were so many times when I had like half moments, but I easily caught the car. Like, I didn't have a good race. I finished, I think, last of all the finished runners, maybe bar 1 or 2. But yeah, you know, it is a lot easier to catch the car this year on the game, or to even keep the car on the track. It's nicer, to be fair. I enjoy it more. Interestingly, both Alfa Romeos have stopped again, so this means Nice Job is now in the lead of the race. The tyres will be pretty fresh for all, even though they're saying 8 laps old. So, yeah. I'm not sure pitting is the correct call then here. Patrick has stayed out also, so right now Nice Job could maybe be a surprise race winner then this evening. And he has got his teammate of True Loki God behind him, who isn't going to be the easiest of drivers to overtake. In fact, the Alfa Romeo cars have got 6 drivers to pass before they would reach Nice Job. So Nice Job could have built maybe, well, within, depending how many laps we've got left, well, have probably about 6 or 7 laps left. I think 6 laps. Could have built a really nice lead actually here, and by the time the soft runners catch up to him, maybe they've spent their tyres, to be fair.
Well, it is our 3rd safety car in a row.
Yeah.
Second.
It's our 4th overall, but 3rd in a row, yep.
Oh, it's
Obviously,
been a very
the
long
other
night.
one. Yeah, it has been.
I've just realised that both Alfa Romeos have pitted.
Yeah, I've gone through that. I said it wasn't the best
Uh,
decision, personally. Because
What?
obviously, by the time Nice Job, as I said, we've only got, what, 6 laps of racing. By the time Nice Job gets
They have just
ahead.
threw this Grand Prix away.
Potentially, yes, that's what I said. Or was explaining to the viewers a little while ago. So, yeah, this is potentially a race win for Nice Job incoming then here. Because they've got quite a few drivers to overtake if they want to go and win. Plus, the mediums aren't going to be too bad, really. Even though they're saying 9 laps old, they're probably better than that in terms of how they feel, in terms of actual wear. So, Nice Job's gone, and he's absolutely left his teammate for dead in the background, and Algre's picked up a 3-second penalty, so back to the green flag then. And it's a penalty also for Sir Waffler. A lot of penalties probably now starting to fall, but already Nice Job's got a 1.2 or 1.0 second gap he had just a moment ago over his teammate. And how are them Alfa Romeos actually doing on them
Not
softs? Yeah, not great. And Mikey looking at maybe a move on the back of Patrick. It's a decent exit. Does have fresher soft tyres, to be fair, by a couple of laps. And he is looking quick actually, Mikey, here in these final few stints. But one of the Alfa Romeos have just sent it down his inside, and that's then Danny up the inside, obviously probably knowing he's got to go and get on with it if he wants to recover this and win this Grand Prix.
Ooh, that's a car wide. I'm not sure who that was. That was
Costa
going wide.
And in fact, Patrick has retired from the session. So are we going to get another safety car?
No, I don't believe so. I think we ran out of times. I mean, that now gives the Alfa Romeos a good chance to get back into the 1-2 position. The Championship League are out of the session. That looks like a crash into the left side of the penultimate corner. And there's a lot of cars side by side. I'm not really sure who to look at. That was Oscar and Costa, Mikey and anyway. Scrapping out for these positions. Runner is then overtaken by Mikey. Costa overtakes well anyway. And now Oscar is going to overtake well anyway. That is 4 positions in one straight when anyway is lost. Those hard tyres are not a very pretty tyre, I don't think.
So with the championship leader out, then, in these final few laps, what that means, if Nice Job finishes second or higher, he's definitely going to take the lead of the championship then today in this season, as then we head on to lap 32. Does have, though, Danny very, very quickly behind. I think he can get P2, though, because obviously Oscar does have 3 seconds to contend with. And in fact, Loki's doing a decent job with Danny then here. Obviously not much he can do here because Danny does have the DRS for good measure. So this is going to be really a true fight between Danny and Nice Job for the win of this Grand Prix with 5 laps to go. I think Danny probably, you'd have to say, is the favourite to win on those pressure softs.
By the way, I've got an audio clip for the rest of this race. So my game is going to crash at some point very soon.
Okay.
It does. Like this audio is unbelievably bad because they
Fair
have not
enough.
fixed this glitch yet. So it happened in Hungary 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I believe I'm going to be getting kicked out of this session depending on how bad it gets.
Oh yeah, that's alright. I don't mind it anyway, finishing off the stream. Danny is driving pretty fast behind, and he is right on the back now of a Nice Job by literally half a second. So literally he has, well, the first opportunity to make a move down into turn 4. He's got a great exit, Danny has. Nice job using his battery. Yep, obviously has retired in the pit lane though. But for now, Nice Job has managed to survive the first of Danny's attacks.
Yeah, I think it'll last a lot longer.
No.
However, Nice Job with the battery advantage. Yeah, if I do randomly disappear, at least you know why. Danny on the left-hand side of Nice Job really just trying to open up these corners to get every grain of rubber out of this soft tyre, and I think this move is going to come in 2 corners time. He's going to already be alongside of Nice Job, and he's going to may not go for it just yet. I think it's better just to wait. Rear wing, once again, oh my god, this is absolutely terrible audio. This is actually hurting my ears listening to that, oh my god. Rear wing still enabled for the Alfa Romeo, just puts it down into 4th gear, or 3rd gear, sorry. I think he got, he got rear-ended then. Austria, he got into 3rd place. Not really the best executed of corners for Danny on that lap, I must say.
No, the thing is, every lap he sits behind, Nice Job, the worse his tyres are going to get, and the more the advantage is going to swing back to Nice Job. I do wonder, is he being a bit, I think, what's the word, deceiving here? Is he just going to wait for the last lap to ensure he gets the victory?
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Like, because obviously, yeah, that would be a, well, I don't know whether it'd be a wise tactic to do, but it could be a pretty smart tactic if he does employ it, I suppose. So, lap 35 of the race. And not really going for the move. Or not yet.
I mean, he's really running out of time here. Like, really running out of time. This could be a huge amount of points for most. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be a huge amount of points. But I have a feeling he can win this.
Well, either way, he's ensured P2 in the race, I think. Nice job.
Yep,
so
that means he will take the lead of the championship by 4 points. Who's got the fastest lap at the minute? It's only Danny who has the fastest lap of the Grand Prix.
So Danny obviously with the fastest lap. Then as we enter the final lap,
Snaps! That could cost him that position. He's going to have to use his battery just to stay ahead of Danny here. He's going to hold on for one more corner. This is the most important corner of the 36 laps he's going to have to do today. He has managed to hang on tight with Moishov. Is the factory going to be enough? Is Reed not closing enough? He's going to gain a little bit in this final sector, but he's not going to make the lunge. Oh, he's going to make the lunge. On the final lap of the Grand Prix, Neustrom holds that position. The better traction for Danny, and he takes the lead of the Austrian Grand Prix on the final lap. Neustrom snap on the exit of lap 35 has cost him that position.
yeah,
You could
that
see he had
was
the
it.
straight line speed.
Yeah, he did have the straight line speed, obviously there, but I would have to say I did think that would come on the final lap of the race. Said it a couple of laps ago, to be fair. So Danny is going to take the victory then from Nice Job. He takes a double win then in Austria, took the sprint, and is now going to take the feature race as he weaves to the line. Nice Job P2, Oscar will take P3, Loki P4, promoted up into P3 due to penalties that Oscar had. Mikey P5, Appledorn in P6, well anyway P7, Sawafla P8, then Algary a bit back, then in 9th, and then Mufasa is going to take the final point, is he? Nope. Yes he will. Thought it might have been Spandam the Gamer then there, who would have taken the final point. Oh, it will be Spandam the Gamer then. Not really too sure between them two. So that then is the Austrian Grand Prix. So who's your driver of the day?
I'm going to say... maybe Danny?
Yeah. I'm going to say Mikey. Give it to someone new. P5 on debut. Pretty solid stuff, that is. To be fair. And yeah, I think he'd be a worthy driver of the day. Besides, obviously, the regulars. Of course, he done pretty well to hold his own out there. And kept it very clean, in my opinion. So, yeah, credit where credit is due for him. And you say Danny, of course, which is also another fair mention. So that is then the Austrian Grand Prix, and we are racing next. I'm not sure if next week's a break week.
No, I don't believe so.
So, next race will be Italy, I think it is, or is it China? No, it's China.
Oh, it's China.
So, yeah.
Not a fan favourite for me.
I like China. China's good.
Nope.
China, as they say. But yeah. Anyway, until the next time, that has been the Austrian Grand Prix. Subscribe, like and share the stream, and see you all next time for the Chinese Grand Prix.
Thank you, goodbye.